Well, Bill, I've made it back. The bow season, it was tough on me, so I'm coming back for the rifle season.
Well, you saw lots of deer. Maybe you can have better luck with that gun this time.
Well, I hope so. You know, this is going to be a little bit different than what we did in the bow show. We're going to hunt the Powerlines a little bit, right?
I tell you, this is one of the most productive areas on the whole property, and people that hadn't ever hunted Powerlines don't have the luxury to hunt them. It's one of the best crossings, you know, for deer coming and going, and you're able to, you know, stretch out that shot a long way. And of course, it's very important that you are a good shot and take the proper shot. But it's an excellent place to see deer.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you've got other stands on the Powerlines, but you've found a couple of places that we need to put some tree stands up, right?
I have. I found a couple of places, Jackie, that are a little bit lower places. And you know, it looks like where some of the bigger bucks, you know, are traveling across, and in some of these lower places too, it's got some vegetation. I think you're going to see some deer come out before they cross. Okay. You know, actually feeding across. All
right. Well, I got a fixed position stand and tree climbing stand. I'll go back and get them on a four-wheeler, and I'll meet you at the gap then.
That'd be fine. Then we're going to put both of them up this afternoon and see if we can get some hunting in.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. I'd have to say this is pretty major league power line.
I tell you, you better be a good shot on this power line.
Woo. Boy, this is pretty here.
I tell you, this is one of our better producing areas right here. We got several stands, you know, set up along on both sides. And I tell you, this time of year and everything, these deer aren't pressured at all, and they come back and forth. We got acorns falling on both sides.
Right.
But they come across this thing all day, during the day.
All right, well, I got both stands. I got a fixed position. Right. You mentioned you found a couple of new places that we're going to hunt. You found some trails coming through. So
I tell you, right here below us, right here where we're looking right there, that's kind of a low dip right there, and got a little old creek runs across.
Right.
You can see kind of a little bit higher foliage, and I guarantee you Mr. Big will come across there.
All right, now, are y'all planting your power lines?
Yeah, we are. I tell you, we got, Jackie, 4 feed strips with, we planted whitetail and imperial clover on them. And, you know, we had a lot of drought this year. You know, a lot of, didn't come up yet. We finally had rain the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's breaking the ground real good. So about 3 or 4 weeks from now, that's going to really produce for us.
Well, like I said, this is my first time to hunt a power line, but it just makes a lot of sense because you can catch them in the afternoon, coming to the food source, then in the morning you can catch them coming back.
That's true. I tell you, we got stands on both sides. You know, you'd mentioned earlier, I want to put one on this west side right here because the sun's setting on this side.
For sure.
You know, you'd mentioned that earlier. And
that's a good tip right there. Whether you're hunting a power line or agricultural field or whatever, if you're hunting an afternoon stand, you always want to put it on the west side because if you put it on the east side, the sun's going to be setting, you're going to catch a lot of glare, and it'll really mess your scope up.
It really does.
And that's a real minute point, but it can make a difference on a big buck late in the afternoon. So in the afternoons, Bill and I, like I said, we're going to place our stands on the west side. In the mornings, you want to be on the east side.
Exactly. And we got stands on both sides.
Okay. So, all right. Well, let's get these off, and let's go put them up.
All right.
We'll be ready to hunt here in a little bit. Is this the tree you were telling me about?
Yeah, right here. I got a good view all the way through.
Yeah, you're kind of off of it a little bit. You're not directly on it, but you can. Yeah. Got a lot of foliage here covering.
It's got a limb up there I can lean against.
Yeah,
you know, shooting out on too far, it's helping me bounce a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, and, you can see I can use it as a brace.
Yeah, and a lot of times when y'all are putting up tree stands, try to keep you some low foliage because a lot of times when does, they might come under you, and that right there camouflages you. A lot of people just get all the limbs and they strip it, and a lot of times you're not silhouetted perfect.
I have to be backed up in a tree with a lot of foliage around.
Right. And that way your pattern works a lot better too.
Pattern looks good against this tree, doesn't do bad.
After Jackie and Bill finish placing both of their tree stands this morning, they'll be ready for their first afternoon hunt.
All right, it's our first afternoon. I'm kind of excited.
I tell you, if you had never power line hunted, it's something to behold. It could be good.
Okay. You want me to go up where we place the tree climbing stand in?
Yeah, go on up there, and I tell you, the afternoons are good, especially that last hour, you know, before dark. I want to take the truck and swing back around, and we're going to be about 500-600 yards apart.
Okay.
So, you know, at dark, just come back down this trail right here, and I'll pick you up the road.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to put some cover scent on, and I'm going to ease on them.
All right, well, look for me at dark. If you get a good one, just holler at me.
Good luck. Okay.
You too.
As Jackie prepares to go to his stand, let's join Bill as he spots a small rack buck walking toward the power line. The first-year buck senses that something is just not quite right as he runs back up the hill. Although he is a nice quality deer, he's not the one Bill Jordan is looking for. Meanwhile, Jackie spots a doe easing through some high grass in the middle of the power line. Following some distance back is a small rack buck. As the buck moves down the hill closer, Jackie, like Bill, also decides to pass up on this young deer. Now let's join Jackie with his special guests, Roy Conine and Doug Rogers of Rattler's Brand Snake Chaps.
Well, Roy, it's a pleasure having you back on the Buckmasters. I know it's a pleasure for the people out there because they enjoyed last year's show. It was scary for me, but glad to have you back. And like I said, you got some new things you're going to show us today, right?
Right, got a few tips on the snakes, a few extra things, and we appreciate you having us back on here, and we'll get into that shortly.
So we're going to show some prevention. Is that right? This is Doug Rogers also.
Well, today we're going to show some of the habitat the snakes live in, and then also some of the ways to avoid getting bit by the snakes.
All right, folks, since you maybe didn't get the chance to watch the show last year, here's a Buckmaster's flashback of Roy putting the snakes on me last year.
When you see snake jump, that was the best I ever. Oh, no. I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, honey. Please don't hit me too hard.
There you go. Now, Jackie, that you're doing that, everybody else doesn't have to try it
Well, Roy, I
themselves.
tell you what, buddy.
They can be confident knowing
These
that they work.
babies do work.
All right, Roy, let's take over and y'all show us what we're going to do here.
Okay, what we want to do is go into the woods and show where we might find a snake. So
We're just going to set this up,
okay,
right?
great. Yeah, we'll just put a snake out here and show you what you might run into when you're coming through the woods.
All right, great.
The snake that we have here is a timber rattler. It's one that we commonly find in this part of the world.
Do you?
And their place they like to hang out would be a place just like this right here.
God, look how it blends in.
That's right. They're perfect camouflage.
And I imagine, as a hunter, you know, think how many times that you've been walking through the woods, and when you're deer hunting, you're really not looking on the ground, right? You're always looking out in front of you. But how many times have you stepped over a log? I know I've done it, but I know one thing, I'm not going to do it anymore. Whoo, Lord. All right, so I'm going to try this, right?
Just come walking through like you would be coming through the woods and just step over the log and we'll see what happens.
Golly,
Unfortunately, you walked by a little.
I walked by too fast. Oh, I can hear him rattling. All right, I tell you what, Roy. Why don't you walk across first, and you try.
All right, if somebody coming through the woods would probably come along and step real close to the snake, that's when they're liable to get bit.
Oh, Lord.
Now, he would strike at me then. But But what happens is you startle a snake when you come into the woods, come into his territory, and he'll either strike just out of instinct, you scared him, and that's his first reaction is to strike at you.
Right.
So what we want to do is when you're coming through the woods, don't ever just step right across a log without looking where you're going. That's one of the worst places to get bit, particularly if you're following a game trail, and that's where these snakes like to hang out, where they can pick up rodents, rabbits that are coming along the trail. Just an easy access for the small animals, and that's a good hunting ground for them.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's where we often walk going into the woods.
Well, you know, like I said, a rat. Ooh, Lord help me. Look at him. Look at me, Doug.
He likes your looks better, Jack.
Oh man, that's the worst thing looking at this. But you know, you hear his rattles, and now a lot of times when you're stepping over a log, he won't have time to rattle at you.
Not at all. Not at all. A lot of times what'll happen is he'll strike like he did then with me, and then when he coils back up, that's when he'll start to rattle.
I got you. So really stepping over a log is the worst thing really to step over, because he's not, they say it's a gentleman's snake because he'll rattle at you and at least let you know they're there, right?
That's not always the case. In fact, a lot of people that get bit is because they don't hear the rattle first. The snake doesn't have the opportunity to sound off.
Okay.
These snakes also like to move a lot at dusk and at dawn, which is the primary time when most hunters are getting in or out of the woods.
Right.
So you have a more propensity to walk across a snake when you're hunting because you are going in at the times that they're in these areas where you're walking through.
Now, times of the year in different parts of the country, when are snakes out?
All right, as the weather is starting to change, so when you're getting a cool time early in the morning, late in the afternoon, they're going to be more active then. Also this time of year, as the weather is beginning to change to cooler, they're looking for a place to more or less hibernate, looking for some warmer ground.
This is October right now for the audience out there. Okay, you want me to try it one more time?
Yeah, step right over there and land right close to him. He's getting a little bit agitated.
I sure would hate to agitate. Just step right on over the log and right out of the way. God, I was looking at him.
He wanted you that time,
Well,
Jackie.
I tell you what, Roy, old buddy, old pal. You try
see a
one
snake
more
in that
time.
position, if you're coming across and you step that close to him, a lot of times people actually step on him a little bit when he's most likely to really hit you. Plus the weather's a little bit cooler today too, and until it warms up a little bit when they're really moving, the snake wouldn't really be as active. Plus if he was a wild snake, we have had him in captivity for a while, he would be more anxious to bite.
Well, that's the kind of snakes I wanted you to bring.
Exactly.
I don't want no bad snake. Boy, he come at me that time.
And now it's time for the Buckmaster's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Winchester, ammunition that works as hard as you do.
Hi, I'm Noel Feather with Buckmaster's Tip of the Week. In most situations, I would usually take these rattle horns and hit them together hard, more or less to attract attention. What I want to do here today is to give you a little tip on what you should do if you think a buck is real close to you, or if you're in thick cover, or if you've actually seen a buck. Then I think you'd be a lot better off not to hit the horns together hard, but more or less just maybe tickle the tips. A little bit like that, or even maybe better yet, if you have a grunt call, if you use the grunt call, probably you wouldn't even have to pick up the rattle horns. If a buck is within 100 yards of you, he's going to hear this grunt call, and he comes to a grunt call for the same reasons that he comes to a pair of rattle horns. And I think you're less apt to spook the buck because you don't make as much movement with the grunt call. So my tip is to take the grunt call, hit it 2 or 3 times, and then if nothing happens, or if the buck moves out to where you can't see him, then possibly pick up the horns and scrape the tips a little bit, just tickle them, and I think you'll have a lot better chance for success. And that's Buckmaster's Tip of the Week.
The Buckmaster's Tip of the Week has been brought to you by Winchester, ammunition that works as hard as you do.
All right, Bill, boy, it's pouring down rain here. You want me to go to the same stand I was in yesterday?
Same thing. If everybody the 3 poles are, just walk straight in.
All right, now, if you shoot, I'm coming, and if I shoot, you're coming, right?
I'm coming to help you.
I like I said, we got to be crazy to be sitting out here in the pouring down rain. But you say the deer walk in Georgia in the
I tell
rain?
you, I love to hunt in the rain.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see some deer minutes.
All right, so you're going to swing the truck back around and go to your stand?
I'll go my stand. If you hear me shoot, you come to me, and I'll come to you if you shoot.
All right, see you in a little while.
As the rain steadily falls, Jackie has spotted 4 does that have appeared on the edge of the power line. In the meantime, Bill spots a huge rack buck through his binoculars. As the massive Georgia buck feeds and moves closer to Bill's stand, Bill gets ready for the shot. As Bill makes his way to the buck, Jackie, responding to the shot, moves down the hill as a thick fog begins to roll in.
Woo, man, I'm tired. Good gracious, what a buck.
What do you think?
Golly. That's Leroy, isn't he?
That's him.
Golly, Pete, let's look at him.
That's the same, I saw him 2 nights ago. I was telling you about, I told you he had some good times and good
Look
spread.
at this for a Georgia whitetail. Good gracious. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Got some other stuff. 8, 9.
It's not bad for acorn.
You know what? Now, folks, I'm gonna tell you this. We've been here a week, and he's been hunting this stand, hadn't left it. And I kept saying, Bill, let me go down there. And he's been seeing some small bucks. And he's going, no, I want you to put you somewhere else. You're the best liar I ever seen. To be a good deer hunter, you got to tell a tale.
It's just a good host. That's all it is. Well, I told you I'd seen this deer several times.
Yeah, you told me that.
And, you know, I was saying 2 nights ago, I was sitting on the same stand and he came out a little bit late. And he had a bad leg. I tell you the funny thing about it, look at his leg, and he couldn't put any weight on it. It's in position right there.
I'll be doggone.
And I call him my limping Leroy.
Well, you made one good shot, and I'm proud of you.
I tell you, 1 shot.
Well, I had to come down the hill. I knew I couldn't stand it. Well, I tell you what, the guys at the camp are just going to die when they see him.
That's not a bad aim.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Let's get him on to the house.
Okay.